You just fucking... Dude, that's gonna be such a good fucking intro cap right there.
I didn't realize it was recording.
It got the fucking audio too, bro.
Oh shit.
Shit, bro. That's gonna be fucking good, bro. That's gonna be like episode 6. And it's like, choo. You're doing this. That's just the intro, bro. There's nothing else.
Nothing else. No context. No conversation.
3, 2, 1. And we're back.
We back up in this bitch.
Welcome back to the podcast that doesn't exist because we don't
exist.
You heard it from straight from the man. My name's Mandus the Praying Mantis, and this is my buddy.
Holy shit, dude. There's a universe in which we both do that with straight faces. And it's so much better.
Yeah. Shit.
That was good.
Okay, welcome back, guys.
Oh, shit.
It is hot as balls in here.
It's so fucking
hot. I don't know why.
I'm like...
you can do it. Yeah, you can. Just
can?
real quick, because I need it.
Dude.
Like, harder and faster, daddy.
Do you feel that? Is it hard and fast enough? Is it fast enough?
No, that's hard and fast enough, yeah. And it feels good.
Oh my god, no, it feels so good hard and fast like that.
Alright guys, we're fucking back. It's hot as balls in this thing.
It's gotta be at least like 90. It's gotta be at least 90.
Yeah, no, it's so hot.
Yeah, just like existing for like 2 seconds, like my pores everywhere.
Yeah, dude, you can just feel it. So we're gonna try to make this a little slower.
Yeah, I mean shorter.
Shorter, yeah.
And we also, it just works with the questions. So it's gonna be a short episode.
Yeah.
We got 2 coming this week, so it's fucking whatever. Yeah. And also, our format's gonna be a little bit different. Instead of going through the questions as we go through the episodes, we're just going to decide the questions before the episode and then get into it. So it's going to be a little bit less on the fly, but also it's going to be a little bit more like well structured.
Yeah,
and I thought it's kind of starting this week, but it's more so starting next week. Because what we're going to do is we're going to decide which question we're going to do for the next week. So I'm trying to think, because it's 2 a week and they're back to back. Then are we deciding the 2 for next Are we deciding all of them for the 2 next episodes, or just the one for the next episode?
I think we should decide all of them for the next 2 episodes.
Okay. So then what we'll do, since we've already decided the friendship one's for next week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. Well, whatever. Okay.
And then we'll come up with the next one.
Next week we're gonna do that'll probably be 1 episode. I feel like, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
So we're gonna do 1 episode dedicated on what is true friendship.
Yep.
That's going to be next week. And then we'll decide the other one by the end of this episode. We'll decide the ones for the episode after that.
Yeah, for sure.
As for this episode, though, we're going to be doing, does evil come from within? And if so, why? I believe it'll be very short. It might not.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to do, what? Have gadgets and apps take away emotions? I don't like that.
What?
It's fucking gross. The one below, can achieving nothing make a person... What did you want to do? Because I feel like the evil one's going to be so short, bro.
You think so?
We can go into it and then we'll see.
I think we have the ability to extend it.
True. Okay, yeah, fuck it. Let's roll with it. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
You want to kick this one off?
Yeah, hold on. Quick reminder, guys. I'm behind on schedule on posting these episodes. It was a busy week, so I think it was episode 5. It's not going to be uploaded on Friday, which is today. It's going to have to be uploaded sometime. It's going to throw the schedule a little off, but I'm going to keep going on track. It was a super busy week this week, so just letting you guys know, and we should be back on track.
Puggers.
Puggers, yes, puggers. Okay, so to the list that doesn't exist.
Did you want to kick it off?
Yeah, I'll kick it off. The question is, does evil come from within, and if so, why? Okay. So when we looked at this question, Jordan made a comment about saying that he doesn't even believe in evil.
Yeah.
which is very interesting because I'm kind of on the same page, but I'm also kind of not. And this is like the answer to most of most of the questions, where it's like this yes but no thing. And so, does evil come within, and if so, why? Yes, it does, because evil, whatever you portray as evil and what you view as evil, usually it starts off. It's kind of like the best analogy I could think of, like, who came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
It's like if evil's the egg and an influenced person is the chicken, vice versa. So you could say like Hitler, right? That could be something evil coming within, but then he expressed that evil onto his country, and that evil came from within, but then essentially portrayed it as just evil as a society.
It's really interesting you brought up Hitler, because when I said what I said about the question, I thought of Hitler.
Yeah, no, but here's the thing. Then it comes back to the question: what is evil, right? Because this is such a very interesting word. You know, evil has this bad reputation to it. It is in religion.
I want to Google it, but I also kind of have like my own thoughts about the definition. So we'll fucking
In religion or Christian aspects, evil is basically concerned with the association of the devil's doing, and what the association of devil's doing is to prevent people getting closer to God. That's the Christian definition of evil, right? That's the Christian definition of a liar, simply put, right? There's obviously many levels to that. And when you think of evil, you know, is killing Hitler evil, right? Because you just killed someone. Hitler is a human being. Hitler, you understand? Like,
yeah.
You know, you've committed that line that's never to be crossed. But there's people out there who like, hey, no, killing someone who's like really bad is okay. Yeah. Okay, well, defend, like, what's bad? Like, define bad.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Define evil.
Then you have to go into bad, and then, I mean, fuck, I want to let you finish, but yeah, like, when you go down this rabbit hole, you realize that, like, oh, it's all subjective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's all perspective, it's all subjective. But, I mean, that's what you really come to.
And exactly. And so, this kind of goes to the question where it's like, does evil come within, and if so, why? I mean, yes, totally. It does. Because whatever you view as evil, that's just someone's rationality of viewing the world. That's just someone of like getting all the external factors that they faced in their life and projecting it out there, whether through be ideas or action. And there's this really interesting thing where it's like people. Like, what makes a really good villain in, like, comic books and movies is when the villain actually and genuinely believes that what he is doing is good.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you see a good movie, the villain, if the villain is not portrayed as that, then it's not necessarily, like, in my opinion, a good movie.
Yeah, usually the villain has some sort of flaw, and you're usually going to lack investment in them.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, oh... there's a scene in I think it was the Suicide Squad, and Harley Quinn was they're like, I don't know, the whole town was going to shit, and she like breaks a glass and steals a purse, and one of the other Suicide members was all like, hey, like you're just gonna do that? And she's like, yeah, that's what bad guys do. And it was kind of funny, but it was like, you're stupid, like. Yeah. Like there's a reason why people steal, and like why they view that they feel like they need to steal. Right? There's like this like thinking of like, would you steal for your family? Is that bad? Is that evil?
Yeah.
You know? Take someone as like Robin Hood. He steals from the rich and gives to the poor. Is that evil? Right? Because he's stealing money. Thou shalt not steal. And so it's this very interesting spectrum. It's a spectrum.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if it's a spectrum. I feel like it's
Yeah, dude, it's almost like it just is, in a sense, if you will.
Somewhat. I mean, it's really fucking muddy because you get into. I mean, these aren't. I don't think these are black and white concepts. I don't think they're just like good or bad. Is it good or bad? Because it's all
Yeah.
like I've talked
I didn't mean
about.
it to come off that way.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think you did.
Okay.
I think if nothing else, what you did was you kind of laid out the framework of the complexity within this
Yes.
question,
Yeah.
right? Like you painted exactly the reason why it's not straightforward, and the reason why like morality is not straightforward.
Right.
And
Right.
so I mean it's all subjective. It's all about perspectives. And I mean, and we can try to like pick things apart and try to create some universal truth. But the biggest truth about truth is that truth is like fucking,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, what is truth, right?
Yeah. No.
And yeah, the most real thing about reality is that it doesn't exist. Like and the most truthful thing about truth is that there is no truth. Like
Right.
so, it's just like. I mean, simply put, that's why I say there's no fucking evil. Like there's no fucking evil. Like you could go your entire fucking life. You can go 30 fucking thousand generations trying to extinguish all the evil in the world. Guess what? You're probably the evil to someone. You're probably the evil and someone dies.
Yeah. No.
You know?
Exactly.
And so what are you gonna do?
Exactly.
Try to fucking like you're gonna off yourself? Like
Yeah.
no, you're not, because you don't see yourself as evil. And this is, I mean, I think it really goes both ways. I looked up the definition, and it was basically something like extremely immoral or wicked, profoundly immoral and wicked.
Profoundly.
And so like with that definition, it's like okay, cool, yeah. So like immoral and wicked, and then you go into morality. What's moral? What's not? And then morals are pretty relatively cleanly stated, but there is really always the question of like, is it immoral to kill someone? Well, what if you're killing someone who's killed millions of people, right? Like Hitler or something like that. What were we gonna say, by the way? I think you were gonna say something.
Yeah. Would you? So with that idea of like evil doesn't exist, does good exist?
We've actually kind of covered this. I think to do something good is to do something for the benefit of
Others.
others,
Yeah.
which would mean to do something evil would be to do something for the benefit of you.
Right. But then like here's the thing is like when you do something for you, it's like you're also just like trying to like help yourself in a sense.
Yeah, ultimately.
And it's like, is that
This
so
kind of goes back
bad?
to do we talk about the kind thing on the podcast? I think I talked about kindness with you, right?
Kind of. You're re-jogging my memory real quick.
Yeah, so I was having a conversation with my father, and he was telling me about how I have a kind heart. And it really threw me for a loop, because I was like, I don't really consider myself a particularly kind person. And it made me really think about, like, what is kindness? What does it mean? And obviously I could just sit here and look up the definition and just decide that that's what it fucking means. But I kind of just thought about what kindness actually was, or maybe what it meant to me. And the conclusion that I came to is like, when I'm going about my life, if there's a choice between me winning and someone else losing, and me winning and someone else winning, I will always choose the version of reality in which we both win. Always, 100% of the time, I would never even consider the one where only I win. Because why? But there's also a version of reality in which I lose and they win, and I'll never choose that one either. I'll
Right.
never fucking lose, right?
Gotcha.
And so for me, and I thought about that, and I was like, well, why is that? Is that even bad? And a lot of people talk about, you have to help yourself before you help others, right? You have to love yourself before you love others. You have to provide for yourself before you can provide for others. And so it really begs the question, like, is that even fucking bad? Like maybe that's how I feel like that's how I should be, right? Like, it seems selfish, it feels selfish, it sounds selfish, but is it selfish? And maybe it is, but the question is it bad to be selfish at times? I don't fucking know. Anyways, the point that I'm getting to is like, I feel like kindness is when presented with the opportunity for you as well as the other party to win. When presented with that opportunity, you take it 10 times out of 10, right? because obviously, what do you think? What is an evil person? Who is an evil person? Really, I feel like what evil would be is someone who they're like, okay, either I could win and you could win, or just I could win. Just me, I win, you lose.
Right.
Just because I fucking want you to lose. Just
Yeah.
because I don't fucking like you, right? And it really, when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like an evil person, right? Like that sounds like evil to me. And so it kind of makes sense, right? Like good versus bad. It kind of makes sense to me. I mean, it just kind of makes sense to me.
Right,
So.
because it's like you could almost see it as like this yin and yang kind of thing.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, because good and bad at opposite sides, but they also define each other.
Exactly, and it's like, and I'm gonna go back to sucking the yin and yang's cock, where it's like it's a beautiful symbol because it's those little white dots, or like the white dot on the black spectrum and the black dot on the white spectrum.
Because there's a little bit of everything.
Exactly,
Of the other one, yeah.
And I think that's just the indicator of just how meshy and mixed up things can get.
It's not a clear black and white. I mean they are, but there's a little bit of the black and the white, a little bit of the white and the black, and it's really about perspective and 100%.
And then you see it as a whole and not just this divided thing. You see it as like what's the word, that this unity.
Yeah, as a unit. Yeah, it's funny because before you said the word, I was thinking of that word. It would make sense, but
like a non-duality.
Exactly. It's a unified concept. It almost works together.
Yeah.
And part of that, it's really interesting because yin and yang, it could have been a line, two sides, two dots. It could have been that, but it's not. It's kind of mixed, right? It's swirly.
Yeah.
And they kind of curve into each other.
Yeah.
And if you were to draw a line in the middle, some of it crosses the line, some of it crosses the other line. Like it's not so clear cut.
Yeah, no.
And that's really, I mean, it really is quite a perfect display of of the duality of a lot of things. So yeah, to go back to the question though, does evil come from within, and if so, why? I don't fucking know. Like, does it come from within?
Like, sure, I guess.
Yeah, that's a fucking hard one. Because, like, the way I see evil is, like, nobody would want to do evil if evil wasn't done unto them.
Exactly.
Right? And so it's like, does it come from within? It doesn't come from within them. It came from somewhere else. And so the answer is fucking no. The answer is fucking no. Because if we want to take this shit to religion, specifically Christianity, then evil came from... Yeah, I don't like this. But,
You said what?
I said, yeah, I don't like this. Because... I'm like my logic's being conflicted, but essentially, evil started somewhere, somehow, and then from there, it's just been traveling from one person to another.
Yeah.
Right, and is what it is. I feel like evil is just a manifestation of damage. Right.
Yeah.
When you're a damaged individual,
yeah.
This is the reason why people who are evil often they become good when they've been healed. Right? I mean, there was a point in time, I was actually talking to a friend about this, there was a point in time in which I really didn't feel any love. At all. I didn't feel any love towards me, and I didn't feel any love for anybody else. And I just, it's funny, it's funny, I didn't even question it. Like, love was just something that I was like, love. I like you a lot. It's just like you a lot.
Yeah.
You just like someone to a point in which you just want to use a different word because it's like cooler. But then I fell in love, and part of me falling in love, I mean, I feel like the only reason why I fell in love is because I was just purely purely and unconditionally accepted by someone.
Yeah.
My first love, and because of that it just healed me. It just fucking healed me. I'm not perfect, or I'm not like this fucking saint being who levitates every fucking morning and can control, But it healed me to the point in which I was like, okay, yeah, like I basically gained the ability to love.
Yeah.
And I gained the ability to like feel loved.
Yeah.
And so, and I feel like it was that in which allowed me to empathize. Because another thing is, it was extremely fucking difficult for me to empathize before that point. Extremely. And it's funny because at the time, At the time, I remember thinking about this, like thinking about how crazy it was. It's like before falling in love, I was like I don't know, it was so fucking hard for me to care about someone. Like I couldn't bring myself to care. Like I just didn't know how to care about someone. It was like if someone fucking got ran over right in front of me, I'd be like, damn, that's crazy. I wouldn't be like, oh, he's fucking hurt. Like, oh, goddamn. If someone was like homeless on the street or some shit, I'd be like, damn, that sucks. It just didn't fucking matter to me. Like I was just focused on me, my life, me. And so really like after like once I've like fallen in love and more so even more specifically once I had been loved and like I felt that love, then it kind of I don't know it drew me to love. And then once I felt love and like it's weird because it's like love because I felt love I loved, and because you can feel the feeling of giving love, you can feel loving someone and you can feel being loved, and because I felt being loved I felt love towards someone, and like that feeling of like loving someone, it just it fucking sparked someone in me and it never fucking went away.
Right.
And now I know how to like I know how to like care about someone.
Yeah.
Like I know how to like see someone and like put myself in them and like be like, man, like really be sorry for them.
Shit. That's a cool story. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool.
You're welcome.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because I think that also paints another picture in why, evil doesn't come within. I think evil is highly driven by negative emotions.
Yeah. Well,
And like in my opinion, the primary like negative emotion is fear. It's almost like the contrary of love. It's like the opposite. Now, obviously, you can love to run away from fear, but like when fear, you can see when fear has taken someone's life. When you can see when fear is like controlling someone's life, and it's very interesting.
I struggle to subscribe to the belief that fear is the opposite of love. I feel like we should get into this because logic says that hatred is the opposite of love.
But it's like hatred is driven by fear, though.
Why? How so?
Because
let's just start getting into it. Give me some examples. Give me some examples of how hatred is driven by fear. Because I personally would like to get into what drives fear.
Fear of death.
Okay, and why do we have a fear of death?
Because we don't want to die.
Come on, deeper, buddy.
Alright, because our ego doesn't want to realize that we don't fucking exist.
No. It's our attachment to life.
What is?
Our fear of death is based off of our attachment to life.
Right.
Right? We don't care about dying for any other reason than that it's the opposite of living. And it's really interesting to think about that.
Wait, okay.
Were you going somewhere?
Yeah, no. So our ego doesn't want us to realize that we don't exist. That everything is just an attachment to life.
Yeah, I'm just not sold on it. I'm not sold. Why doesn't our ego want us to realize that?
Because it's ego. Like, okay, oh my god.
Questions like
okay, right, all right. I honestly forget what we're even talking about right now. We're getting it.
Doesn't fucking matter. What we're talking about is questions, and I need answers.
No, no.
So I know that somewhere along your path you develop this understanding that all life is, or not all life is, but our resistance to death is based off of our ego not wanting us to realize that like we don't exist, or like that nothing matters and shit like that.
Yeah,
right?
like identities, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm just not sold on that. And it's probably just because I subscribe to different beliefs that I've been told.
For sure.
So I think that our job here today would be to come to a conclusion. Because if we both believe two different things,
Yeah.
but above all else, we want to find truth,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Okay, no.
two different ideas can't coexist.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree with this.
Okay.
But let's just... Okay, look. Does evil come within? What was your answer?
There's no such thing as evil. So no.
Yeah, no. And I'm basically agreeing with Jordan because I know I said the opposite on the contrary, right, in the beginning. But like seeing your perspective and how you explained it,
Yeah.
I agree with it. It's from an outside force and it's external, which it's kind of it's like a little grasshopper that just hops on other
Exactly.
people. You know?
It's like a sickness. It's like a fucking it's like a
disease.
plague. Exactly.
Yeah.
Does the plague come from? No, fuck it. You weren't born with a black plague. You got that shit from somewhere.
there
and
you
they got
go.
that shit from someone else.
Born with a blank slate.
Exactly.
And then
You were
project.
born. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. No. For sure. Okay. So
And as you said, we can find a way to stretch this. Of course, this isn't about the question, kind of, but we found a way. So fuck it. We're diving into this.
I'm just curious. I want to see how long this is because I just want to know how long it took us. And we were talking about for 15 minutes before, so that was like 30 minutes, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I told you it was bite size, and like obviously, like we could have made it even fucking short.
It was about.
Like
you seen that episode of SpongeBob?
Yeah. You think that's what I'm saying?
The Krabby Patty.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Yeah.
that's cool. Shit.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, man. SpongeBob was a stupid, but
Dude,
awesome show.
Such a good fucking show. Like, what is that? Who the fuck? Oh my god, I think we talked about this. My favorite part of SpongeBob is those close-ups.
Oh my god, I know.
Gross ass close-ups, dude. Like the fucking when you see his pimples and shit, it's like, oh god, dude.
Yeah, dude. SpongeBob.
Yo, I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry, my ADHD.
Go ahead.
I wanted to talk about something. Actually, I don't even need to fucking look at notes. On my way here, I was bumping between Spotify and my map. And I kind of know the way to here, so I don't really even need to use Google Maps anymore, but I still use it just to make sure. So I'm sitting here, and Spotify, when you turn on Google Maps, I think when you get into the car, it like knows that the Bluetooth's connected to a car, because I do it through Bluetooth, and so it turns it to Spotify Car View. Have you used that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here and I want to look through my playlists, but Spotify Car View is a bitch, and it just shows you the fucking left, right, pause,
shuffle, like
exactly.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, fuck you. So I press the car thing, and then I have to press the button that says turn off car view, and I'm thinking to myself, okay. All right, let's think about this. Spotify Car View, why does it exist? So you can see what you need to see and not crash.
Yeah.
If I'm fiddling around with some fucking just turn off Car View. It should be one button so I don't crash.
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting here and I'm like fucking, and I gotta fucking do all this shit just to turn off Car View. I'm gonna fucking crash trying to turn off your bullshit that's trying to get me not to crash.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Spotify. Think Spotify.
Well, here's the thing. I think it is a flawed and cool attempt from them, but I do agree because it's like the fact that you have to like hit those little tiny 3 dots and you have to like stop it. But did you know if you swipe up, it'll show different playlists in like songs that you can click on?
I didn't. I need to fuck with it.
Yeah, you just swipe up from it and it shows like little different playlists and songs and shit like that you can do. So like if you want to change it and stuff like that, in the Spotify Car View. Yeah.
Yeah. I will admit, I think I probably need to fuck with it more before I fucking curse Spotify, but
yeah, bro, come on, we're trying to get a deal with them.
I'm sorry, Spotify. Let's call it good. Hey, you guys can pay me back by cutting us that fat ass check.
Yeah. Dude, we're this is episode 6, bro.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
No.
TikTok time.
Oh shit!
Yeah, man. I got some saved up on draft, but there's a lot I need to do.
Yeah, you can sift through it. Honestly, man, we could even like, I don't know. I was gonna say we could like take it easy one week just so you could focus on like the promotion stuff instead of.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Or we just. Oh, actually, we could do the episode that we don't do it one day of the weekend, you know?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So instead of having something to upload, instead of having to work on a second video.
Yeah, there you go.
Work on TikTok chat.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah.
Everything works out, homie. All the pieces fall in place.
Yeah. But I want to get you involved too, though. Like, I don't want to.
Yeah, and what, the
Doing-
creative process?
Yeah, for sure. Like, but I don't know how I'm gonna do it because all the shit that I have is here, basically.
Yeah.
The only way is if I gave you the hard drive, and
No, we can. There's definitely a way that we can send files. We can definitely send files.
yeah, we'll figure this shit out.
Yeah,
anyways,
and I have like editing software, and we can fucking get in calls and shit over Discord.
Yeah, for
the
sure.
real question is like, how the fuck are we actually gonna do it? But
yeah, we'll figure this shit out.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
so about what we were talking. Are we
yeah.
gonna move on to?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Ego, and the concept.
What is our fear of death? All right, fuck it. That's probably the question of this episode. Let's.
Oh yeah, no, honestly, good shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
Fear of death. Okay.
What is our fear? Why do we fear death?
Okay, so to start off, I saw this Vsauce episode
Okay.
and it was like an hour long about scientists basically broke down the fear of death into 9 categories.
Okay.
And so it came from like disease, darkness, the unknown, abnormalities, loneliness.
Are these all different ones? Because some of them are fucking retarded. Like the unknown and darkness, I feel like those are synonymous.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say, but like, what would you call like the fear of being in the middle of the ocean? The unknown.
Yeah, I
know what I mean?
but like, why are you afraid of being in the middle of the ocean? What makes it unknown?
That you're just insignificant.
No, because you can't see shit, right?
I guess.
You
Yeah.
can't look down and
That's
it's
true,
just
yeah.
the pit of
Yeah,
darkness.
but I don't think. Okay, yeah,
Right?
I agree, but
Because you know shit.
I agree, but you came a little harsh on this whole thing, bro. You were like, these fucking scientists don't know what they're fucking talking
I'm
about.
kind of saying that because I don't just sit here and,
But it would- dude.
and suck a dick and be like, yeah, you're right, because you have a PhD.
No,
Fuck you, man.
no.
It makes sense to me. You
Yeah.
have to win me over.
But it's like, dude, your intensity with that, like, you agree with the other ones except those 2, and then you think that like, oh yeah, they fucking suck.
No,
and
I also didn't fucking like. I also didn't like one of the first ones or whatever because
abnormalities.
No, you said disease. I'm like, disease? I feel like there's got to be something. Disease? Really? Who the fuck fears dying of a disease? You fear the disease because it could lead to your death, right? You don't fear dying of it. Like, nobody thinks to themselves, man, I'd hate to die of a disease. They think, oh, man, I'd hate to get a disease because I could fucking die. Right?
Well, no, this is... God, you gotta let me finish,
I know. I fucked up. I fucked up. I'm sorry.
Basically, they broke it down into 9 categories, and they all tied it into that it leads to the fear of death.
Okay.
Basically. That's...
Oh, so this was... So every single fear leads to the fear of death.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's... so fucking stupid, though. This is fucking stupid. Okay, so continue, because there's gotta be fucking more than this shit.
Well, I mean, that's basically like what he just talked about throughout the entire episode, and they basically broke it down. Like he would talk about each category, and then lead it to the fear of death.
Yeah.
And so, what else do you want me to explain? I give an example.
Why do we fear death? Because there's more than that. Like, cool, we can draw everything to fear of death, and like I agree. You can draw. Yeah, I feel like you can draw everything to the fear of death, relatively speaking, right? But the real question that we're getting at is like...
I just dropped my
I thought that was on purpose.
I literally just dropped my coffee all over the place.
Oh, rip.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, the real question is, do you say you accept it?
I said it's fine, it was empty.
Oh, I was like, damn, you're getting real fucking zen. It's fine, I've accepted it.
It's okay, I dropped my coffee. I've accepted it. It is good.
There is a stain on my carpet now, and it will remain there.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay, that's funny.
Yeah.
I want to get like a little mini Zen garden. I've always wanted to have one.
Oh, like one of the rock ones?
Yeah. Just like have my little rack and just play with it with the little rock and a little tree in it, bro. I feel like that'd be so peaceful. Anyways, what are you talking about?
Talking about the fear of death.
Yeah. And why we fear the death, essentially.
Yeah, because
I want to hear your side first, because I want to hear your side first.
Yeah. My beliefs... so, I haven't fully articulated my beliefs, but they do... But there is at least a lot of it that I feel is concrete.
Okay.
So, essentially what I'm getting to is, if I explain enough of my feelings, I feel like I'll arrive to a conclusion.
Okay.
So, firstly, I believe that Well, yeah. Our fear of death is because death is the unknown, right? Like we don't fucking know what's there, but I know what this is, right? And so what we really have to get to the root of is why do we have an attachment to life, right? Because just fucking roll with me. I'm saying that our fear of death is attached to our attachment. Is our fear of death is because of our attachment to life.
Okay.
So it would beg the question, well, why are we attached to life? And it's really interesting because oh shit, I'm remembering why I was reminded of this, because during the same conversation about love, I talked about how I used to not care about my life. Like I used to really not care about it. Like type of shit like I'd almost look for cool reasons to die.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like there was moments in which I might have talked about this before, but there was moments in which I thought about killing myself. So my father, how do I want to put this? I wasn't very appreciative of the way he parented me. And in order to make him feel the pain that I felt because of how he parented me, I fantasized very often about killing myself and writing a note basically telling him, because you're such a fucking shitty father, I killed myself.
That's deep.
Essentially.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. And like just fantasizing about how much that would fucking hurt him, how deeply that would fucking scar him. And these were things that like I really, 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 and it's hard to say whether or not this is true or not, but there's a point in time in which the only reason why I didn't go through with it is because I was Christian, and because I asked someone through the church, like, hey, if I kill myself, will I go to heaven, right? And they said, well, let's think about this. Probably not, because you're not supposed to kill, right? Thou shalt not kill, and the reason, the way that we go to heaven is by repenting for our sins. But you can't repent if you're dead.
Yeah, true.
And you can't repent after, you can't, cut your wrist and while you're bleeding out, you repent because you're not dead yet.
Yeah.
So you haven't killed someone yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So once you're dead, you can't repent, and So I was like, fuck, man. So I was like, there goes that plan, man. I ain't trying to go to hell. So, yeah, and ultimately I got through that shit, obviously, because I'm here. But, Yay! Hey. So, yeah, but I didn't care about my life very much in terms of the grand scheme of things. I was pretty fucking okay with dying. I would look at my life and be like, yeah, I'm not gonna miss any of this shit that much. And and just think about that for a second, because and maybe this is because I had such a close walk with the idea of death from a young age. Because why was I so okay with death? It was because I wasn't gonna miss anything that was a part of my life. Right? I looked at my life and I was like, there's nothing here that, I'm really going to miss all that much. I think I'm okay with dying. And I was even thinking about it today. If someone fucking came in and, while I'm, counting money in my store, they came in and they're like, fucking give me the money. I could just be like, no. And then, walk away and be like, okay, you're either going to shoot me and I'm going to die, or I'm going to give you this shit, but I kind of don't want to give you it. So, let's see. I don't really care about dying. And it's all just this idea of, am I so attached to life that I wouldn't want to die? And this is just where my mind goes. This is where my mind goes when I think of why not die, right? It's because I have things to live for.
Right.
And so, and this is the reason why it's so concrete within me that I believe that our fear of death is based off of our attachment to life. And so the next question is, why are we attached to life? And I think it really comes, I think what it really comes from is when I don't know. Because part of me wants to say our attachment to life comes from hope for the future.
Yeah.
Because I know that when I feared, that's what I was getting into. When I fell in love, that's when I feared death the most.
Yeah, wow.
I never feared death more than when I was in the midst of my love. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
And it's funny because I would even think about this, man. I would think about this. It's so crazy because I would do shit. I would do crazy shit. And as a kid, when I was younger, I wouldn't fucking think to myself, man, what if I fall? What if I break something? What if I die? I would never think that. I would. No, I would. I would think, what if? And then I'd be like, man, whatever. And I wouldn't really care.
Right.
But when I fell in love, it was there's something for me to live for now. I have a purpose now. It really gave me purpose. And how it gave me purpose, we can go into that. But it gave me purpose. And so because of that purpose, when I would be posed with that possibility, I'd be like, you know what? never mind. I no longer want to do crazy shit. I'm kind of down to just not do crazy shit. I'm like, skydiving, meh.
Oh wow.
You know, what if my parachute doesn't release? Well, is it really worth it? Because like, I'm never gonna fucking see my woman again, right? Like, I'm not gonna be able to like be with my family, you know, and that really fucking, and you know, I'm starting to think about some shit because a lot of times I've thought about the fact that like my lack of a family growing up has inspired me to like really strive for a family,
Yeah.
like
I know what you
as
mean.
just like a goal.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because the possibility of a family, the tangible possibility of a family, was one of the main things that made me desire life.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. But anyways, I don't know. I kind of don't want to rant more, but I know that I'm not like at a conclusion.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, this is from you stemmed off from why we're attached to life.
Yeah, and so I guess where I might be going is because if we feel like there's just well, because okay, so I started to believe that like, hey, maybe it's because we're hopeful for the future. We believe that there's something in the future for us, and so we want to see that through. Right? Like, I mean, it's the same thing from like, I mean, you know, I don't know if I can get into this, but it's the same thing of like, if I were to hypothetically, if I were to move from here to somewhere else that wouldn't be here, why not move? Because there's things here that I still want to do or see or experience. So it's really like, yeah, the only reason why you would be afraid of change is if you like how things are or you like how they're going to be.
Yeah.
And I guess the other side of that is you like how things are. If you're really happy with your current situation, then yeah, you wouldn't want it to change. Why the fuck would you want to die? So, yeah.
So do you want to conclude with a question? Not the podcast, but your side.
I suppose I kind of have to because I don't know where to go from there. I mean, we could go into like why do we have an attachment to life, but yeah, it's pretty simple. It's because life's great. I don't know. Like there's a lot of value to life. Like there's emotions and like deep fucking euphorias in life, and like as long as there's still happiness to be had, why not live more?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. But the question isn't why be alive. The question is why do we fear death? And I guess that's kind of been answered. It's because of our attachment to life, at least from my perspective.
And the attachment is the euphorias, the happiness, the journey.
You know, the attachment to life could be many things. I feel like because people can live for many different reasons.
Right, and so like that fear of death is like missing out on those things,
essentially
the fruits of life.
Yeah, exactly. It's missing out on what life provides, right?
Yeah,
and especially because another really interesting thing about death, and it really, I mean, it can really combat suicidal thoughts. Is okay. Once you die, you can't go back. You know, hypothetically, because you know. But hypothetically, once you die, you can't go back, right? Once you've killed yourself, you can't decide, okay, wait, I don't like this shit.
Sorry, buddy, no takes his back seats.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just be fucking in the dark void and like, wait, this shit's boring, bro. Let me be alive again. It's fine. I'm no longer sad about that one fucking thing. Let me just be alive again,
it's
right?
Like, sorry, bro, like, you can't go back. What you mean I can't go back?
What
you just
mean?
Can't go back.
The door's over there. Yeah, but you can't reach it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't reach it. Fuck.
Like, how do you know? I'm like, I've been here for 35 years.
Exactly.
Man. And he's like...
I've been here for 8 trillion.
He's like, what the fuck? He's like, I'm Bill. Who are you? It's like, what the fuck?
Fuck you, Bill. No, yeah, but yeah. So it's like you can't go, you can't choose to go back to life, but you're guaranteed death, and because you're guaranteed death, it's like, Brody, okay, just calm down, bro. It's gonna come. Yeah. All right. If you want death that fucking badly, it'll meet you. Yeah. Right. So just fucking experience this while you can.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
Because there will come a time when you can't anymore.
Yeah.
And when that time comes, you won't be able to decide that you want it.
Ooh, yes!
Just fucking just pipe it down.
Yes,
pipe
dude,
it down and just be where you are, right?
Yes.
And that's where we really come to like accepting where you are, because it's like you are where you are, and when you aren't here, you can't guarantee that you can come back here.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's some deep shit.
Yeah, that is some deep shit. I fuck with that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
By the way, that's Jordan's fan. Like he's fanning himself. That's the
they can
noise.
see, yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
they can't.
Well, for the
I'm fucking
future.
dying.
Yeah.
Fuck you, kids. Enjoy the noise.
It's not that loud. It's not that obnoxious.
Yeah,
I'm
especially
being honest.
if I do it right, then it's not that bad. It's
Yeah.
probably just the wind.
Yeah. No, I mean it's not even that bad because like I'm talking over the wind. That's how
That's
quiet
true.
it is.
That's true. That's true.
So yeah, you can't even hear it. Yeah, it's not that
Yeah,
bad. You
it's
just hear the wobbling of the
crinkle,
paper.
yeah.
Okay. I think you described many good things about this question, and I'm just gonna like put my input.
Yeah, man, go for it. Cause I mean,
I have to.
the question is, do you still feel how you feel? Do you feel that it's our ego trying, like, not wanting to? And I guess it's also a possibility that they can coexist. Maybe.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like that yin and yang, the balance thing, and everything.
No.
I don't know what you mean by that. Then.
I mean, our fear of death can stem from our attachment to life, but our attachment to life can still stem from our ego.
Hold on. Let me just think about that. Say it again.
So I've come to the conclusion that our fear of life stems from the attachment. Our fear of death stems from the attachment to life, correct?
Right.
That doesn't mean that our attachment to life can't come from ego. Or can't come from our ego's attachment. You know, whatever.
That doesn't mean that our attachment to life can't come
from ego.
That doesn't mean that, right?
It doesn't mean that.
Okay.
No. Because your idea is that it's our ego not wanting to realize that it doesn't fucking matter.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, and I think so this comes to I think I'm not communicating the depth. I'm not communicating the definition of ego and how I'm using it to you correctly. And I think I'm falsely. I mean, I don't know, because like remember when I was talking to you about how like ego has different levels to it when I was doing pickup?
Yeah.
And like this is kind of what I mean to it, right? Where it's like you get to the point where it's like you're driven, like, oh my god, I'm poor, so I want to get money, and so like people who have like lots of $1 million, generally speaking, come from poor families, come from poverty, right?
Sure,
because there's that drive.
Yeah.
And then they realize, holy shit, money's just this tangible thing.
Often, yeah.
Often, right? Or they just don't want to accept that. Same thing with people who are famous. It's the lack of attention that they received, right? And so they strive for that fame because they're very recognized. Often, okay, often. What is another thing? Like women, striving for women, right? Like it's the lack of women that they received back then. Who was like
probably
really
lack
good.
of love too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And so, it's these. You could. I'm using those as like ego, right? It's like this ego and this identity of yourself of like, yes, like I am the person who I want to be. I am the person who I wanted to be like 10 years ago, and I'm here and everything. And like once you get to that point, you just realize like, oh, I'm still in this meat sack. I'm still like a thing. Like, I'm still just like a normal fucking human. I can die within an instant.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to go with this is like, I guess you could argue that it's not an ego, but it's like.
Well.
I mean.
Well, let's hold on there. I talked about how. Okay, let's hold on there. I talked about how, let's just use me for example, because I can talk hypotheticals, but I talked about how I started to fear death when I started to form an attachment to my potential future life. That attachment was to the idea of having a family. This family was one that I wanted because I didn't have a family growing up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Ego, having an idea, having an attachment to the future, of being who you want to be, right? This attachment to this future version of you that you aren't currently, this future life that you don't currently have or live. And that kind of ties into your point.
You see what I mean, in a sense?
Yeah, no, I do. And I'm really trying to wrap my mind around the entire concept, not because it's like super hard for me to wrap my mind around, but because I'm really frustrated with the fact that I
that you didn't.
I think you know what I want to say. I'm frustrated with the fact that
didn't grab it, that you didn't grasp it in a sense. Is that what you mean? Or
part of it, yeah. I'm frustrated with the fact that it made so little sense at one point, and now it makes so much sense.
yeah, yeah.
And I think it's part of it is because I was able to, like we fucking talked about multiple times off the podcast, you'll arrive somewhere or you'll have some fucking end conclusion, and I have to draw the roadmap between where we are and that point. And that's what I did, right? I drew the roadmap between our fear of death and our attachment to life, right? And that attachment to life probably comes from ego.
Right, but I think I have
My
to.
fucking mind's blown, actually, dude. Because I'm starting to realize I think you're fucking right, and that shit's mind blowing because we're both right.
That's
but
what.
But we're just at different places within the same story.
Yeah.
That's fucking me up, bro.
Bro, I just sit here in my throne. And I'm just with my hands, and I'm just like,
dude, I'm gonna be one of those people. You remember I also talked about how like people begin to bow down to you because they realize every single time that you're right or like that you're not wrong, and so they just give up.
yeah.
I'm gonna be one of those people that just like stops fucking arguing. I'm just like, fuck it. I'm sure he's right.
Dude, there's you know who Dave Cook is?
Nah.
He was a comedian, and he has a stand-up comedy show called like The Vicious Circle, I think it's called, or The Vicious Cycle, and it's really funny. He talks about how like in relationships when you're arguing with a girl, they like plant like little ninja bombs in your brain, and then you like think about it later on when you guys are in the middle of an argument, and then like you fucking explode. And what he was talking about is like, you know, when you're within an argument with a girl and you win that argument as a guy, they'll completely change it and make it personal and just like essentially just like change the subject and tie something else with it. So it's like, let's say like, you know, she doesn't like washing the dishes, right? Or like she doesn't wash the dishes on Tuesdays when she's supposed to.
Yeah.
Like living with her, it's like, hey, like you're not washing the dishes, this and that, and she's like, well, fuck you, because like you're always working all the time, and it's like I always wash them when you're gone, and this and that, and he's like, I know, but like I also wash them when you're gone, and there's like a miscommunication, and this and that, and he's like, well, yeah, but like that's probably why you have a like, you know, you can't fucking make me come or something like that. They'll like take shit out like fucking.
Oh, the girls will.
Yeah, like sometimes, not all of them, but like I don't know if you ever see.
No, I mean, I can totally relate to that. I mean, that's just
and so
fucking lame,
right? And he says where it's like when that happens, he says, just take a knee, guys. Take a knee. Don't. It's a trap. Don't go for it, because what they're gonna do is they're like drawing you into this little argument, and they just plant this fucking ninja bomb in your fucking brain. You don't even fucking know it. He says first they're gonna say something like, yeah, well, like that's why you're not like that's why like you're so similar to your dad or something like that, and you're like, what the fuck? You get kind of angry and they go away, and then you're like, you know, in your room and everything after you get mad, and out of nowhere she hears, you know, she's just like on the TV with her snacks, just fucking waiting for the bomb to, you know what I mean? And you're like, I'm not like my fucking dad! That's what he was talking about. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? How do you compare me? You know? And it's like that ninja bomb where it's like, I do the similar thing where I'm just like, sure. I plant it in there and I'm like,
okay, it's different. It's different because I know what you're talking about, and that's some fucking high tier manipulative shit in which you understand the person's insecurities and you exploit them.
Yeah.
And that
I don't do that. Yeah.
No, and that's why I'm saying it's different.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying it's different. I mean, what you did was it had a similar effect, but it was a way different approach.
Yeah,
right?
For sure. It was kind of like we're on the same page.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, we're reading the same book.
Yeah.
You're on a further page than I was.
Yeah.
You were on a further page than I was, and you were like you
I skipped to the end, and I was like,
you did a fucking spoiler. And you were like, yeah, this person dies, and I'm like, how the fuck do they die? They're like one of the main characters. They don't fucking die. and then I started watching, and then I kept watching. I was like, oh shit, they're gonna fucking die. You know?
Yeah. No, and so okay, to go back what we were talking about, I totally sidetracked there.
No, you're good because I enjoyed that. And fuck them.
no, fuck you guys. God, fuck you for that, bro.
What, I'm saying fuck them?
Yeah. We love our audience, bro.
I say that because because I try to put this shit in the framework of like it's for us.
Yeah,
and if nothing else, we need to get the most out of this that we can.
And honestly, I think people will respect that. I think they will respect that.
And I think that the best way to go about this, the only way that we're going to be able to enjoy this for the fucking rest of our lives, is if we keep it that way.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know what I mean?
So, fuck you guys! Okay, okay, so...
Yeah, I got my boy on page.
Okay, dude, I'm sweating.
I'm trying, dude. I know. It's so bad. Especially because we're getting hyped.
I know.
It's whatever.
And so this kind of goes back to like, I want to clarify when I say when our ego doesn't exist and that we don't exist, right? And when I say we, I'm essentially talking this identification of ourselves. And this kind of goes back to when you were talking about when you are afraid of death, it's like you're afraid to lose something. And you have this attachment to like hope, like the hope of having something,
yeah,
like, of having
I think
family, right?
a better word, especially if we're going to be comparing it to ego or like, you know, relating it to ego would be an image.
Yeah, yeah.
Not like less of a hope and more of like an image. You have this image of something. Because I feel like ego is often driven by some mental image of something, right? And this image is something that you see as beautiful. You see it as beautiful. You paint it as beautiful.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, because I mean, that's just something that I thought of. I don't know, just the idea of like some mental image. It just really resonates with me specifically because most of the things that are ego driven that I've seeked have been, it's always a fucking image. It's some image that's on the end of my road.
Right.
And I can see it. I can just fucking see it. And it's like, why am I chasing this so much? Because this image.
Yeah.
So.
For sure. No.
And the image is, you know, who fucking knows if it ever comes to fruition? Who knows if it's ever as actually beautiful as you want it to be? It's usually not, though.
No.
You know, because usually in the image you're happy, you're smiling, you don't have problems.
Yeah.
Incorrect, bro.
Yeah.
You still have fucking problems.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of times your problems get fucking worse because you realize this shit didn't fix it.
Yeah. No. Big time. Big time. And so this kind of goes back to like this idea of attaching to hope, right? This idea of just like, oh my God, like I just hope I can have this family again. Hope I can have like this millions of dollars so I can get out of this situation. You know, it's like this escape from suffering. You know what I mean? It's like trying to like get away from that shit.
Yeah.
And your ego just like, or your image or your identity, whatever. It like, it's so weird how it does it. It doesn't just like disappear. It uses itself to drive itself. Like the ego realizes, oh my God, I'm in a place of suffering and I don't like it. So I need to create this image that I can chase, but it's just ego. Again,
Yeah,
it's just,
but that isn't that just how ego starts?
Yeah, no,
Ego
for
starts
sure.
from that image, so...
Yeah, and so, yeah, that's essentially what I'm trying to say. It's like, you would think that, like, our brains would have the capability, just let go of the ego and you'll be fine. Accept who you are and accept your situation.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, no, like, fuck that. I'm a just do me, which is really interesting. I just find that interesting.
And another really interesting thing, just a quick side note, is I remember when I was first talking to a friend about this whole, you know, acceptance shit and like dropping your ego and like just accepting where the fuck you are and like accepting who the fuck you are. And it was funny because we talked about like, let's just say like we both came to some epiphany about we have to accept our situations or accept ourselves. We have to love ourselves and so accept ourselves, and that most of the things that we're seeking are because we don't currently love ourselves and we're hoping that we'll start to love ourselves or we'll be worthy of love if we achieve these things.
Yeah.
And so when we kind of came to this conclusion, we continued about our things, and then we talked again after a week, and we realized that we were trying too hard to like achieve that. We were trying too hard to not have an ego. And it was almost like, and this is kind of what you're saying, it was almost like we were chasing something in chasing nothing. Like, and like...
the concept of like grinding World of Warcraft, where it's like you're grinding into a video game, into a character that doesn't exist. Into a game that doesn't even exist.
That probably applies, but I think a better way of... a way that works better for me was like, okay, so this is like Dr. K talks about this a lot, how he became a monk, or how he was trained to be a monk. And the reason why he wanted to be a monk is because he sucked at life.
Yeah.
He was bad at school, he was bad at fucking socializing, he was bad at life, right?
Yeah.
And so because of this, because he was failing at life, he was failing all his fucking classes, and like, from his perspective, the way he was raised, like, if you can't pass through school, you're not going to be successful, and if you're not successful, you suck at life. And so because he sucked at life, he was like, you know what? It's because life isn't for me. It's because I'm better than this shit. It's because I'm supposed to be a monk. It's because I'm supposed to be meditating in the fucking mountains somewhere. And so what he realized through that was that he was just chasing this egotistical idea of like being better than life, and like that's the reason why he was sucking at it.
Yeah,
when in
dude.
reality he just sucked at fucking life and he didn't want to suck at it.
Yeah, dude.
And so it's funny because what is like being a monk is losing your fucking ego, right?
Yeah.
But he is literally using his ego to try to lose his ego.
Exactly.
And I think that's what you were talking about.
Where it's the ego tricks you.
Yeah,
or, you know, or
your ego tricks you into thinking that you're doing something not for itself. It's really fucking interesting. Fuck, it makes me want to talk about something else because should I though? Well, I will. Because fuck you.
What'd you say? You said should I though?
I said yeah. Should I though?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I said some fucking.
I don't know what you said.
That I was like
Japanese
summoning some demon
shit or whatever.
No. Yeah, I'm gonna make this quick. So basically,
Quick.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Yeah, another fucking Dr. K thing, because this is just Dr. K fucking after podcast. He was talking to Asmongold about his laziness, and he was talking and Asmongold was talking about how sometimes he reaches these epiphanies or these like revelations that like he has no reason to be like afraid of things, because he talks about this is fucking crazy. I think you should actually watch this episode. But he talks about how
it's his recent one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to, bro. I think you're gonna fucking love it.
Okay.
He talks about how laziness isn't like it kind of isn't a thing. Laziness is usually just you develop enough reasons not to do something that you don't do it. Right? It's not that you don't want to do it. It's that you have enough reasons not to do it that you just decide not to do it.
Yeah.
Right? And so one of the reasons was like one of the things that he's like too lazy to do is like too lazy to go to the too lazy to go to the dentist.
Yeah.
To get his teeth fixed. And so, but in reality, it's first of all, he's afraid of the dentist, and he's also afraid of he also doesn't like the idea of like having to fucking go, set up the appointment, etc. Point is, the main one is his fear of the dentist is big enough for him to push it, and keep on pushing the responsibility to like some future date, and these epiphanies that he has that allows him to go through with these things. Like, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but you'll be afraid of something. Maybe it's approaching a woman or something like that, and then you'll come to a point in which you're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. Yeah. And it's not that it's not that you're not afraid of it. It's not that you become like you suddenly are like immune to like fucking you're still afraid of it. It's just you've now gained the ability to overcome your fear.
Yeah, exactly,
right?
Exactly.
And so
that's a really good way of resonating that with me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so he would have these epiphanies, and his laziness would hijack these because Asmongold was talking about well, something that I came to was that these epiphanies fuel the laziness, because when I realized that nothing matters, and like technically like it doesn't fucking matter, so I might as well just do it. Right? Then I realized that nothing matters, so I might as well not do it. And he's like, no, that's not true. That's not true. It's your laziness hijacking this epiphany for its own good. And I'm basically saying all this to say that like I feel like ego does the same thing, right? Like you'll come to some realization, and then your ego will hijack it to use it for its own good. And that really begs the question, like, how do we know if our ego's hijacking something to use it for its fucking whatever? And that kind of goes to like that there really is some fucking good and bad. There are things that we're supposed to do and not supposed to do, and that is there is like an actual fucking moral compass.
Right.
I'm branching into so many topics that like I really want to dig into, but I'm realizing that like we just don't have the fucking
time. Well, we do.
That's not true, but
we don't have the energy. We're gonna like
it's
drop
too
out.
Fucking much for now.
Yeah.
It's shit that I honestly I'm probably gonna fucking talk to you off the podcast
for sure. Yeah.
But yeah.
Let's see. We're an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
First 15 minutes is bullshit. You think you want to end it? I think.
I mean, we answered our shit.
Yeah. I think. I mean, we asked 2 questions, right?
Yeah.
Well, because one of them was
one of them led to the other. I feel like the main question was
why.
why do we fear death?
Yeah, for sure. And
but this is the reason why we got led to it. So you can you can check that one off. But yeah, it was.
For sure.
We're probably that's the funny thing. We go over so much shit that's we're probably gonna fucking reach why do we fear death somewhere in this fucking list.
Yeah, I know for sure, exactly. Yeah, I mean we're cutting it short for today, guys, because it's fucking hot as balls on this thing. I'm actually cool now though. Like I'm actually like I'm not that hot anymore. Like I'm too much in the moment, I guess.
I mean, if we want, we can keep on chugging. I don't give a fuck. It's all. Nice. It's all up to you.
What time is it? It's like 12. God, like I know I have like the energy right now.
Yeah.
That like will I have in the next 30 minutes or an hour? You know. Now I think we'll cut it off.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it. All right. Peace.
So yeah, that was 2 questions. Does evil come from within? If so, why? And why do we fear fear of death? Yeah. So I think that's gonna be it for this guy's podcast. That was a little extra. Okay, cool. I'm glad you're okay. Yeah. So catch you guys next week. Like, subscribe, leave a comment if you guys want us to answer any any questions that you guys have. We want to do it, bro. We just want to fucking. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like juiced up from this fucking caffeine.
It's so crazy. I feel like we should get into something, but I also feel like we shouldn't.
Yeah.
And it's because you feel like we shouldn't.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, we're cutting it off. Come on, Jordan.
Bye bye.
See you later, guys.
Bye bye now.
Love ya. All right, guys. Bye.